Follow the money. That's what I always say. You always follow the money. Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on VSiN.
Good to have you on board. Busy hour coming up. In 15 minutes, we'll go over the most wins in March/April in Major League Baseball. This might be a good sweat at some books, as several of them now post this stuff. And we'll also give you some numbers and teams that we like for the most wins in May. Obviously, tomorrow is the first day as we flip the calendar. Games in action right now. Dodgers trying to finish off the Marlins. Are up 12-4. In the 7th, Michael King was really good today for the Padres, and they lead the Giants by a score of 5-1. They are minus 7,000 to win the game in play. Giants 15-1. And because of the stellar bullpen here with the Padres, the best in all of Major League Baseball, the total is 7.5. And in the Angels-Mariners game, 3-3. They play in the 7th.
Died.
Angels favored. Laying 22 cents right now, total 8.5. We have a game starting in about 10 minutes. It's the Twins and the Guardians. Lopez goes for Minnesota. I think his numbers have been maybe a little bit fugazi. Overall, 2.08 with the ERA. You look at
BABIP high.
Expected ERA is 3.12. The xFIP is 4.13. Career numbers against this current Cleveland roster, not exactly Hall of Fame worthy. They're not so high.
Yep.
Ortiz is going to go for the Guardians. I know Adam Burke had a good breakdown on why he likes his K prop over. I think it might have been an alt number at 5.5 plus 125 for that game against the Twins. Might be an angle there. I bet the first inning, they have a run yesterday, and then it got, they played the game still. What was that?
3-hour delay?
Yeah.
Paddock was good again,
and
even though they lost all 6 of his starts, and the Twins are third in starters ERA in April. So it's been an interesting turnaround here, but you've also played some bad teams during this.
So overall, the Twins and Lopez laying about $1.12 in that neighborhood. The Yankees and the Orioles go at it again. Now, this is Carrasco against Povich, who's a lefty, and the Yankees absolutely maul lefties. Do you think that the hot streak here will continue from the Yankees as they absolutely obliterated Kyle Gibson in Baltimore yesterday?
Yeah. I know Povich got us last time out that he shut down the Nationals, but this is a different animal entirely. Judge, 25 home runs in 57 career games at Camden Yards. Ridiculous. But number 1 in home runs hit, and Baltimore number 2 in home runs allowed. So you would think it could continue, not going to be like yesterday, but over 9.5 here, where you certainly can't trust Carrasco, although he was solid the last time out, but that's more about Toronto, that they've only scored 18 runs in their last 9 games. Starter ERA, Miami the worst, Colorado, and then Baltimore. To me, it screams runs here, and again, I think you expect fireworks in this Yankee-Oriole game, and again with the home run props.
Baltimore's favored here in the game.
Yeah, that's bizarre too.
I know it's Carrasco. I get that again. But you're going to get this Yankees lineup against the Orioles lineup. Everything on Baltimore's team basically has been disappointing so far this year.
Yep.
Ben Rice had a great day yesterday. Matt Vasgersian came on Monday, and he told everybody to pay attention to his total base prop. Well, it's been over a half and not really even that heavily juiced. Now tonight, when I looked there, I guess earlier today, it was like still a half, but it was minus 175. So he's been terrific. Grisham with a home run yesterday. Judge is $6 to win the AL MVP.
Oh.
$6. But he's got a 2.9 WAR already. It's not May yet.
Yeah, number 1 in all these categories.
So if he stays healthy,
damn.
Look, I love to take a peek at long shots every year for MLB awards. Once the season is underway by a good month or two, if he stays healthy, does anybody have a realistic chance to knock him off? I mean, Bobby Witt would be maybe the one guy, but
he's got a 20-game hitting streak.
Yeah, but he's hitting 400 higher than 400.
Yeah, not happening. Need an injury.
Can the Yankees get this road on for much of the year?
Yes, that's real.
Because Max Fried's off to a really nice start.
That's right. They're 6-0 when he starts. Yep.
Now they got to plug the gaps here with no Garrett Cole, obviously, and that's why Carrasco is going to keep going. But man, Carrasco and also Warren back into the rotation. At some point, they're going to have to make a move.
Yeah. Well, there'll be a lot of Cubs talk in the next couple segments here because we'll go most wins in May. But the Cubs are good. Question is how good. Now, you can get even money on the run line tonight against the Pirates. Pirates have been shut out 5 times. They're 25th in runs. Cubs, the exact opposite. 6 runs per game. 181 runs so far. The last time they scored like this, they won the World Series. 9+ runs 8 times. So everyone's hitting. Pirates can hit. I got Boyd going. He's $1.70, but I can go run line here as well. And then it also points into the Cubs are doing this. They're 18-12. This is the first division series. And before the meeting last night, every team they had played was at or above 500.
Right.
So it's nothing but lesser teams coming up and why they can take it a bit. So to have a record like that with the schedule they played, well done. And the Cubs are for real, and they should run away with this.
Absolutely. I mean, they are clearly the best team in that division. I mean, who's close? Brewers, maybe? If you want to look, I mean, you got to find a set. Nobody's on their level.
You're not buying the Reds? They're playing well.
I mean, I think as the second best team, I could buy them for sure. But again, to be close to the Cubs, I can't really get there with them. No.
Okay.
I think the Cubs are really good.
Yes.
Shohei was awesome last night.
Mm-hmm.
Right? If you can limit the walks.
Oh, with this offense, it's just scary.
They got a ton of pieces. There's no doubt.
Right. Yep.
I kind of want to make the case for the Phillies on the run line tonight as they are playing at home against the Nationals. And
that damn bullpen, though. Well, it's both of them, right? The Nationals.
Of course.
The Nationals are dead last in bullpen ERA. Mm-hmm. It's 7.47. And they the fireworks last night, why not? And the Phillies are 29th in bullpen ERA. They've blown 8 saves, most in the league. Come on. It's embarrassing.
I guess maybe the in-play here then would be like yesterday, right? You could have had huge plus prices on both teams. Here's part of the reason why I like the Phillies tonight. They're a huge favorite. It's Sanchez going, who is really, really good against Jake Irvin. Sanchez, 77 career plate appearances against the current Washington roster. Very good numbers overall. Irvin's numbers, I'd say, Fugazi again here, 3.19 with the ERA. The expected ERA is almost 5, and the FIP is 4.25. And the home run rate, pretty high for him as well. So of the probable pitchers going today, he's at the very top or near the top of the list for most home runs allowed this year. I'm not exactly going to call for home run derby by the Phillies, but maybe to win this game. I also do. Here's the thing: I don't like betting home teams on the run line because then you can't get the ninth at bat in theory in the bottom half there. So that's always a tough go for me. But there's a reason. I'll put it this way: there is definitely a reason why the Phillies are laying this big of a number against the Nationals in this game.
Okay, it's a unique card today. We already saw the Rockies shock the world. Petty's making his debut for the Reds.
Yeah.
They're favored. Cameron's making his MLB debut for the Royals. Bluebaugh made his debut for the Astros. It didn't go well. Gonsolin, his first start in 621 days. There was another kid who made his first start, and Giolito's going finally for the Red Sox as well. So how do you want to approach this with guys who are making their debut if maybe the moment's too big and how long they even go? From an outs recorded standpoint.
Yeah, you could certainly look. If books are going to post outs on a lot of these guys, most of them anyway, I think the look would be to play a bunch of them to the under, but also the one example that we have so far today is Gonsolin.
He was good. I can't believe how deep he went.
That's exactly what we're saying here, right? To go 6 innings making his first start, and he threw, I think it was 79 pitches in his last rehab start, and to go out there, okay, here you go, Tony. The floor is yours. Go ahead, give us 6 strong if you can. And he did. I know that's only one guy, and that has nothing to do with the other pitchers that we're getting tonight, but yeah, I would look at the under for some of those guys that you rattled off there for sure. What do you expect out of Giolito tonight?
Boy. I think you'll be okay just because how bad the Rays are right now. I mean, the Rays can't hit at all. So I think you can't go 5 innings. The guy can't go 4 innings. As bad as the Rays have been. I mean, if Carrasco's shutting you down, you got problems. Right. And they've lost 8 or 9.
I will give you that the Brewers, again, playing against the White Sox. Again, Mike Palm was just on, and he told us that, people betting against these really bad teams every day on parlays in Major League Baseball, and they were cashing for a long time. Shane Smith goes for the White Sox today. 27 innings pitched. The ERA is 2.30, which is sterling. The expected ERA goes up a little bit to 3.81. The FIP is 3.37, and he's been a little bit lucky with the BABIP of 219 overall. But I remember last time that he pitched, it was a strong outing, and there was that rainout game that they won 3-0. He was very good, and I watched a lot of that game here at Circa before our show started. I'm like, yeah, I've definitely been sleeping on Shane Smith. He looked great that day. So I do not want to be getting involved with the Brewers tonight, although Myers can be good as well, but I'm not playing moneyline parlays fading the White Sox.
Do you dare jump in front of the Mets at home? Can you do it? Corbin Burns, $1.12. The Mets trying to become the 7th team since 1900 to start 14-1 at home. On pace to win 113 games. They've allowed 4 home runs at home. And they're on an 18-4 run at home games against Arizona.
I can't do it.
This could also be big for that prop here at Circa. Circa did March and April.
Yes, combined.
So with the Dodgers winning, if the Mets lose, it's tied. And then whatever their tiebreaker is going to be. And I will give you, Langford's on fire. They moved him up in the lineup. He's hitting .429 with 7 RBIs in the last 9 games. Yeah. They're going against Severino. Evaldi's $1.50 at home. He's on a 5-1 under run in his starts.
Langford homered last night, I believe, right?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. Might be worth a look at some of these markets. I don't know, total bases, hits, runs, RBIs combined.
Yep, all of it.
Yeah, okay. All right, let's follow the money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We'll expand on what you just said because, again, several books are posting most wins per month. It's becoming a very popular bet to make. I love it. I think you love it too, Pauly. Coming down to the wire here today, as it almost always does, and then we'll give you a couple of teams that we're looking at for the month of May as well, coming up on Follow the Money. It's VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
So I love these bets that books have been posting now for a couple of years anyway. And several do it, right? DraftKings, they do it. Caesars will do it. Will Hill. Here at Circa, it's the most wins in a given month in Major League Baseball. So Circa here again had March and April. Expand on that for a second here. Dodgers won today. If the Mets lose tonight,
they're tied at 21.
So then I believe the tiebreaker going back here at Circa was team to play fewest games.
Oh, okay.
And at Caesars, it was a dead heat.
They would have the identical records.
Well, then they have to dive a little bit deeper.
Oh, boy. They both beat 21-10 if the Mets lose.
I'll text Chris Bennett now.
Very good. And then and also with the dead heat, that's what the dead heat is at Will Hill and Caesars, so you can split the ticket, but they don't do that here at Circa as well. So you mentioned it, so what that's going to be like for May. But that's intriguing. The Mets won it, by the way. That's over. If you just bet April, the Mets got it.
It's theirs already?
Yes, the Mets cashed.
Yeah, okay. All right. So looking at some teams that, well, first of all, the schedule plays a part of this, obviously.
Now, do you look at odds or schedule first?
I like to look at schedule probably a good week out, maybe a little bit more than that.
How teams are playing too? Okay.
Oh, of course, factored in.
Right.
So schedule plays into it. Number of games certainly plays into it, right?
That's what put me on Kansas City. Because I knew the schedule was easy coming up, but also they've won 7 of 8 now.
Yeah.
So they got their act together.
Sure.
So that was one reason you could look at Kansas City, yes.
Odds are going to be a consideration. I'll give you an example. So when Caesars first posted it a couple of days ago, was it yesterday? Was it the day before? I'm getting confused now. But regardless, it was this week. I looked right away, and the Cubs were 14-1. I had that team circled. A reason why is because they get 12 games against the Rockies, White Sox, and the Marlins. You're going to catch my attention at that point, right? For sure. Cubs have to be a consideration. Other than that, they do have a difficult schedule with some really good teams. However, with those 12, I mean, that's got to be part of it. They were 14-1. And I thought, that seems like a pretty good number, but I want to see what Circa's going to post. Circa posted it later in the day. They were 4-1. I'm like, oh my God, 4-1. So I scrambled back immediately to try to bet 14-1 at Caesars. It was down to, plus 450 or whatever it was. Unbettable at that point. I'm like, oh, that was a smart move, Mitch. Good job. So I missed that one. Let me ask you this. Do the Dodgers have to be a consideration every single month, regardless of the opponent? You mentioned earlier, Kershaw now in the conversation to come back in May. Snell coming back at some point in May.
Well, that's now Ohtani second half.
And they're
just because you've had 13 pitchers get hurt and the bullpen's blowing games.
Right. And if you like them to win like 105 games to begin the year, well, that means that they're going to be in contention to win like pushing 20 wins like almost every month, or a chance to do that anyway. And that should be enough to get it done around there.
Right. And then you have that stretch where it's Miami, the A's, the Angels, Arizona at home.
Yeah, I believe they start the first 11 days on the road of May.
You are correct.
Yeah. And they have Atlanta in there and they have Arizona in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they'll get swept by those two teams, but as long as they can keep their heads above water, then they'll get a break with those other teams. Here is one, a team that I was looking at. It was the Seattle Mariners. So there's this, which is the bad part of the Mariners. You factor in the Logan Gilbert injury, entering play last night. The staff wasn't even close to being as dominant as they were last year. They entered Tuesday 14th in starter ERA, 18th in walks per 9 innings, and 21st overall in innings pitched. They were first in all those categories last season. So that's been regression to the mean. But what has also been regression is some of the positive numbers here when you look at the offensive numbers and when you go super deep into some of these like WOBA and then ex-WOB Bacon. That's like combined runs expected when you get into like exit velocity and launch angle, which is crazy high metrics there. But they have the third most homers. They're third in on base. They're third in barrels. They're third in barrel percentage. And they have the fifth highest hard hit rate. I could go on and on. They're fourth in WAR, second in WRC+, first in walk percentage. They're also not a very good defensive team. I want to bet the Mariners at 28-1 because of the offensive numbers being better this year. But due to that Gilbert injury, and I don't love the schedule, I can't get there, Paul. So here's a team that I landed on based on the schedule and some other circumstances. It's the Detroit Tigers, and I bet them at 16-1. They get 4 against the Angels, and by the way, I'll give you the run differential of some of these teams as we currently speak. The Angels are minus 35. The Rockies are minus 78. That gets 3 against them. The Rangers are minus 3. The Blue Jays are minus 35. The Cardinals have a negative run differential. The Guardians are minus 27, and the Royals currently are minus 14. They have 2 teams right now on the May schedule with a positive run differential. It's San Francisco, back end of the month, plus 25, and it's the Red Sox, middle of the month, plus 17. So they have a very favorable schedule, and here are the dates. This Friday, the Angels get Skubal. On Thursday, May 8th, the Rockies get Skubal. Skubal also goes against the Red Sox, the Cardinals, the Guardians, and the Royals. He's going to go 6 times. And as I called him the other day, he is the absolute hammer. So if I get 6 starts out of him, and you factor in overall, the pitching numbers are absolutely incredible as a team. And Steve Makinen here at VSiN, his numbers say the Tigers are the 4th best overall bullpen in all of Major League Baseball. I thought 16-1 was definitely a bettable number on them. Had to do it.
Why no San Diego?
They could be on the list.
Okay.
I just didn't do it.
Okay. 5 against Pittsburgh, Colorado, Angels, Miami. Good pitching, unbelievable bullpen. Offense, a bit of a funk right now, but they're going to win today. And I love how they open, and I love how they close, which is Pittsburgh, Colorado, Angels, and then you close with Miami and Pittsburgh. At Atlanta, not difficult. At Toronto, not difficult. Seattle at home as well. I think the Padres are worth a look. Phillies, do they take off? Colorado, the A's, St. Louis, Pittsburgh, Atlanta.
They play 28 games, and I'm looking at some projections right now. The Phillies are projected to have top 5 most wins in the month of May by one calculation that I'm looking at.
All right.
The Padres only play 26 games. Other teams play 28. That would be a factor in me not playing them.
Kansas City, you have to put Baltimore on the list. I mean, they have the 3rd worst record in the American League, or in baseball, rather. So Baltimore, White Sox, and St. Louis. St. Louis, awful on the road. Kansas City playing well.
Yeah.
And if you want to shoot for the stars, a little pizza money, Boston was 53-1. Getting guys back, good pitching, they can hit. I think the Red Sox are going to be a playoff team. 53-1 on the Red Sox, although it's a tough schedule.
Okay, so here is the run differential at Circa. Thanks to Weston for sending me this. It goes number of games played. That's number one. So if a team played fewer games and they have the same amount of wins, they're going to win that tiebreaker. The number 2 tiebreaker is run differential.
I would imagine the Dodgers have that.
No, they don't. The Mets are plus.
Oh, really?
The Mets are plus 20 on the Dodgers.
Oh, wow.
So he bet the Dodgers. He said, I need Arizona to win by 21 tonight.
Oh, it's locked up. Okay.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
With the info. Sorry, with the beat. Really?
Yeah.
That's surprising. Well, hell, they lost the game 16-0, whatever it was.
That's right. That Cubs offense got him.
I can't believe it. That's what got him.
So that's going to be one of the games that'll come back to haunt him. Yeah.
Man.
And they did their best today. They were up, 12-4?
Yep, 1-12-7.
To carve into that a little bit, and then they gave away some more runs. Yeah. It's super fun. I would highly encourage, Circa's in 5 states. Definitely check out their odds. DK, Caesars are in more states, obviously. But if you've never gotten into it, the most wins, right? I mean, it's a blast.
It is. Good luck.
Yeah.
You got action all month.
Yeah, right.
Oh, the Orioles moved Morton to the bullpen. Oh, shoot.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the actual word there.
Oh, man. 0-5 when he starts. That's terrible.
That's no good.
They got him out of there. Want to bet smarter, not louder? Check out the Sharp Plays, sharpplays.com, where real bettors go to get ahead. Chasing steam, copying picks, and recycling the same old value plays. They're not sharp. Sharp Plays is the source they're echoing. Been with us since day one with Mr. Poison t-shirts and following that with his great info. And since 2011, he's been locked in what the real pros are betting. Elite group, sharp money, the kind that moves the market. And when they jump on a side, the line reacts. Insider info, powerful AI tools. You're getting ahead and not guessing. Free betting reports, real-time alerts, next-level intel via email or on X. Don't take anyone's word for it. Check the receipts, full betting logs live on the site. Lead it, don't follow the crowd. Sharpplays.com. Respected, watched, and feared. That's the Sharp Plays.
And I have to tell you, I'm a little surprised by this. You can always tweet the show at VSiN Live, at Mitch Moss Radio, at Pauly Howard. This is from Kevin Ryan. He's alerting me that DraftKings no longer posts most wins in a month.
They got rid of it.
Yeah, so we're down to Caesars and Circa, I believe. I'm surprised by that.
FanDuel? No FanDuel? All right.
I'll put it out there. Have you guys seen it at FanDuel? I think maybe I'm wrong in this. It feels like it would be a very popular thing to bet. People love instant gratification. You're not tying your money up for 6 months like in a regular season win total, right?
Oh, yeah, it's like the 13-run pool.
Yeah, and to your point,
Will Hill resets that.
Yeah, and to your point, it resets. It's going to be it gives you action every day for 30 days. Up next, 5 games in the playoffs. We'll talk about them coming up here on VSiN.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
I know it's the Angels, but this Mariners team, as we talked about last segment, they can hit this year.
Yep.
Doing it again today. They have 9 runs. They're still batting, bottom of the 7th. And
it's real. Well, good for them because it was a slow start, but they've come alive.
Yeah. If only, man, that Gilbert injury, though, obviously concerning. Yeah. Would you think 28-1 most wins in May or no?
Give me the schedule. That's one team I didn't look at.
Okay.
But that's not bad, the way they're playing. And if the schedule's doable, certainly
3 at Texas,
jump on that.
Then 3 at the A's. Come back home for the Blue Jays, Yankees, on the road, Padres. That's a tough stretch. At White Sox, at Astros, Nationals, Twins.
Yeah.
I like it, don't love it.
I'd rather have the Padres. Padres, better schedule.
Okay.
Easier schedule. Actually, probably I'd rather have the Royals, too, based on the schedule.
What was the number on KC again?
I didn't. Let me look.
All right.
I forgot. But it's also...
well, they're winning games now and again.
They're playing. They won 7 of 8, and the schedule's doable
for sure.
Because it was. I think it was a 33-36 stretch where it was teams at or under 500.
Right.
So that's what got my attention.
Okay. Games tonight in the playoffs, NBA and the NHL. The Warriors can close out the Rockets, and the Wolves can close out the Lakers. Both teams are up 3-1. And I got to tell you, I mean, these numbers it's baked in that the team has to have it to stay alive because, right? I mean, the Lakers have not been the better team in this series. There's nothing fluky about this. The Wolves have been really, really good. and their lane, it touched 6.5 earlier today. And then people, I think, said, some sharp money where they're like, yeah, that's a touch too high. Got to take that number. And the other one, the Rockets got to 4.5.
Yep, I agree. Royals are 40-1, by the way. So with Golden State's on a 7-1 ATS run in Houston, and I just think you're seeing how big the experience factor is, and the big game that all these guys have played in. Playoff Jimmy is real. What he did in the series in the last game was phenomenal. Houston let one get away with losing Game 3 without Butler. But the shots that Curry can make, and then Kerr's doing a good job with the substitutions and bringing different guys in on the bench, and Heald's hit some big shots that I think this line's too high as well. With Houston, other than Van Vliet and Sengun, who do you really trust, right? Where I know those guys will go off, and that's why I like Van Vliet, you know what I'm saying? His props over again tonight. But you're right, it's baked in where the season's over if they lose, but Golden State is saying all the right things, especially Curry, about it's imperative to get this, get rest, don't give them hope, don't extend it, and take them out right now. And he is tough to deal with, but Green's defense, and if he can stay out of foul trouble and doesn't get a technical, and they got bad blood here too. That's the other thing.
Oh, they don't like each other.
I mean, there's physical basketball. They're playing hard. The Knicks series has been great. They hated each other with Indiana and Milwaukee. 2 scuffles at the handshake line, and with Halliburton's dad. And you got the same thing. There's theatrics and nonsense in every Golden State-Houston game, too.
Yeah, I want to make the case. I want to buy low tonight on Jalen Green, but I just can't get there. Again, his prop, he averaged, a healthy number in the 20s this year in the regular season. It was like their go-to guy, was explosive on offense. He has not had a good series. That game for 38 was the outlier. Other than that, he's been a disaster. And that game, he was guarded quite a bit by, in that spot, they matched him up with Quentin Post, and he did some damage there. Post admitted after the game, that's on me. Sorry, that can't happen. And since then, Steve Kerr's made adjustments. He's not dumb. He's a good coach. And they've been able to, slow Green back down. It also ties into what he was unable to do against the Dubs in the regular season. Go back and look at the games beginning all the way in November. And again, it must be pointed out here that Jalen Green was averaging 27.5 points per game in 5 October games. The first game in November was against Golden State. He had 7 points on 2 of 13 shooting. Did a number on him in that game. They played a month later. He scored 14 on 4 of 6. And by the way, keep in mind, this is all before Jimmy Butler, this stuff. 14 points, 4 of 16 shooting. December 11th, NBA Cup, 12 points, 5 of 15. In February, I think that was right after they got Jimmy Butler. 9 points on 3 of 10. He had one good game in the regular season, and it came in April. It was a huge game for the Warriors. And the Rockets, we all thought they were going to sit their starters. They didn't. They didn't need the game. They had the 2 seed wrapped up. He had 21 points on 9 of 19. So he's basically in 9 games this year. He's played well twice. And the other 7 have been basically stink bombs out of that guy.
Yep. Can only go with Freddie tonight from Houston's standpoint. 12th in the regular season on offense, but it's been ugly. And the game they went off, Jimmy got hurt, and all the numbers, what I said earlier, since the trade, number 1 in defense, number 1 in turnovers forced, and points off turnovers as well. So they got to prove it to me, too.
Yeah.
So it's not just, I'm going to take them to extend the series. We're going back on Friday night. It's the same thing with the Lakers. Minnesota's good. This is a tough matchup for the Lakers. And even though it was disappointing that you blew a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and Hachimura played well, and Luka went off, and LeBron's been Superman in the 2 Minnesota games, can you get stops? And it's just, this trade was made for the future. Now, I know they're playing with house money here, and they were awesome after what happened. But the fact that they were up against it and couldn't get a center and get size, that's too much because Minnesota has dudes. So Randall's going off. I didn't expect that out of McDaniels in Game 3 and Game 4. Ant was awesome. He goes for 43. They got too many weapons. And just the Lakers, those numbers were phony defensively when they were number 1 in, was it February or March, whatever it was?
Oh, yeah.
February, I think. But you're going to give these guys open looks, they're going to make them. And then what's the resistance when attacking the rim?
There is none. That's going to be a huge problem.
Right. And it's a big game for Luka, too. I thought some people were taking some unfair shots at him about the defense and going back in the history. Dallas was a top 5 defense last year. When they went to the conference finals, they were a top 10 defense. He could do a better job and also set the tone early on, but you also have to go back to what does he have in the tank, and he's got to be ready for the fourth quarter, too.
Oh, do we have that, Luke, by the way? I want to, that was, people have been crushing him, pointing out, like, The Luka defense is just...
I think it's over the top. You think it's bad?
Well, he's not a good defender. I mean...
Well, I know. But it's not...
Yeah.
It's not... You can't win with this. You can't go over the top where it's embarrassing. You can't go over... you can't win with this guy, whatever, because you just saw... Or excuse me, you can't have a good defense with him because Dallas was top 5 last year. And it was also the Celtics, too. That's the other thing. Okay, the number one offense in the history of the game. He was bad defensively. I think it's more of a bring the intensity from the get-go thing.
It's also unfair to think the Lakers were going to come out of the West or win the NBA title this year because they made this trade. This was Zach Lowe, very good on the NBA. He went scorched earth on Luka's defense.
Why do you have to get humiliated at the beginning of every single playoff series before you show the world, like, yeah, I can actually put in a little bit more of an effort on defense? Because if you go back and you watch game 1 and 2 of that Phoenix series, he is so bad defensively that it's laughable. And then all of a sudden he becomes passable. And yet again, here we are. We're 4 games into this series and he's just helpless. I've said before, like, I wouldn't have done the trade. Almost no one in the NBA would have done this specific trade. You can find corners of smart NBA people, team people who would tell you the idea of getting out ahead of this and trading Luka is not a crazy idea. The idea of doing it without shopping him to get 9 first-round draft picks and swaps and doing this specific trade is where the logic falls apart. I still think it's a crazy trade, but I'm just tired of, like, I'm going to be embarrassed until our backs are against the wall, and then I'm going to show you that, yeah, I can put up a little bit of a fight. How about you put up a fight in, like, game 1 of the second round, and now you're down 3-1, and you're probably going home.
It's pretty much as harsh as it's going to get. That's Zach Lowe on his new podcast with The Ringer. Crushed him, killed him, went on and on and on about it.
Completely disagree. But the thing that gets them here, though, is no depth. What's Redick going to do with the bench and the schedule? Even if you win, you got to come back Friday. If you shock the world in Minnesota, then you got to come back Sunday, and it's probably an afternoon game.
Oh, that'll be 12:30 Pacific time.
Yeah, it's got 12:30 written all over.
Oh, yeah.
So it's just you really blowing game 1 is what came back to get them.
But again, it's because of they have the Lakers on the front of the jersey, and they have LeBron and Luka. That mainstream media was pushing each other out of the way to pick them to win the series.
Well, that was the kiss of death.
19-0.
19-0 with the picks. Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees. Get cashback rewards. Card never declined. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet, code FTM. Deposit $25, and Edge Boost will match the deposit. Edgeboost.bet. I really like his 3-point prop over tonight, though.
You like Ant-Man too?
3.5.
He's going to take him. 5 for 10 downtown each of the last 2 games. His prop is 20.5 points tonight. So far in the series, 22, 25, 29, and 43. Do they have the dudes to slow down a guy like Ant?
No. He's been awesome. And just attacking and being aggressive.
Yeah, that's right.
They have nope. Reeves 2.5, DiVincenzo 2.5.
Well, they need Reeves to have a big game tonight. They have.
That's
to
the
have
other
that.
thing. You got that out of Hachimura, and you still lost the other day.
In pocket plays coming up next. It's Follow the Money on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
To determine the winner of any given college basketball game.
Someone gives you 10,000 to 1 on anything. You take it. Take it. Take it.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3 to 1 odds. Nope. 5 to 1. Nope. 10 to 1. You're on.
All right. Apologies for last night. Had it wrong with the Kings. Bad read. Edmonton dominated the game, and now we're in trouble for the series. Credit to them, but if you watched and listened to Mike Palm an hour ago, things changed with Hiller and the challenge in Game 3 and to play prevent defense in Game 4. This series was over, and now you awoke a sleeping giant. And watch out for Edmonton, and they are $1.65 tomorrow and have won 3 in a row and can close out the Kings for the 4th straight year. Push in the first period, loser for the game, And Kempe had an assist. That cashed, plus 110. He also had a breakaway. Couldn't score, but the streak comes to an end. 14 of the last 15 playoff games against Edmonton. He had gone over 2.5 shots on goal. He only had 2. That lost. Hurricanes, Devils over 5.5. Easy. What a wild game that was. 3-3. They tie it up. 4-4. Double overtime. And again, too much last night. I thought you got 6 playoff games going at the same time. Thank God for the YouTube TV multi-view, but it's...
Well, you had to have it, yeah.
Then I couldn't find the Kings game. I'm like, what the hell is HLN? What is that? Oh, is that headline? I got to search for that to find it because you can't... It's on the screen and you put it on YouTube and it takes you to the Carolina game. It took like 10 minutes to find it. A lot going on. All right, the new stuff. The pending, excuse me. Kings to win the series, plus 110. Well, looked great when it was 2-0. Pistons are live, 2-1 to win this series. They are favored tomorrow at home against the Knicks. Pacers to win the East, 19-1. Minnesota to win the series, plus 110. They are now plus 540 here at Circa. I'm watching a different series. They still can win this. And tough beat last night. They think they win the game.
You think?
They think they... Not only does your goalie go out in the second period with an illness, then you think you win the game with a minute left. Overturn, you lose in overtime. Blues to win the series against the Jets, plus 150. More on that game coming up. Pivotal game 5 tonight. And Denver plus 7. You have to do it tomorrow. I do not trust Harden. And the stats back it up in the numbers. Harden wasn't aggressive. He wasn't going to the ball. It's ridiculous. And an offense bogged down as well. And Capitals Canadians under 6.5 tonight. You know, I got the angle. They can close them out. Goalie comes out. He stays out. 6.5 is big for the total tonight. I think that's too high. So on to that one as well. And Washington to win in regulation, $1.20. Looks too good to be true. We'll get to that in a second. Okay.
All right. You have no reason to apologize. This guy right here, I think, owes the entire audience a beer at some point. No good. Yesterday was all-time bad. Sorry about that.
Well, I was stunned by that.
Well, I was so excited for yesterday's card. Had so many bets, volume bet, and lost everything. The cat props, no good. He took 4 threes in the game.
Who did?
Cat.
Oh, okay.
That's it. Took 4, made 2. Where was the guy that shot 9 or 10 in the previous 2 games?
Yeah.
That changed the series. So those props were no good. I had the Pacers around the world, quarter, half, game. Awful result. That yesterday was a bankroll wrecking ball to me. Twins Guardians first inning over. I looked yesterday. The weather did not appear that bad. First inning bet postponed or delayed by 3.5 hours. No good. Braves first inning runs over a half. Nope. Braves Rockies over 3.5. First 3 innings got to 3. No good. Losers. The winner was Nikola Jokic. Triple-double plus 125. He got a rebound late to get me there. Earlier today, put this on the website, vsin.com. Freddie Freeman over 1.5 total bases, minus 110. That was good. That's a winner.
Would you have ever thought Christian Brown would lead in rebounds? That cashed 80-1. I mean,
that kid is good, man. He deserves credit.
Oh, yeah, he is. But to think the lead in rebounds with Zubac and Joker out there.
Sure, right.
So many of those big tickets are cashed. As we talked about, Trent was 45-1 most points.
Right. Also, should be on here that I did bet the Braves live today to come back and win on the show. That was no good. That was a loser. And should have a couple more here added on the upcoming Phillies. I did it. The game just started. I bet them on the run line, minus 115. And also, Tigers 16-1. Most wins in May. Made my case for that earlier in the show. You missed it. Go back on the VSiN Watch app and find it.
NBA, NHL playoffs heating up. We're almost to the second round. MLB in full swing. The Derby is almost here. Bet smarter with VSiN Pro. Time running out to get the full VSiN Pro access through August 1st. Just $59. Saving you 33% off the monthly price. Every best bet, every host, every guest, and the betting splits from DraftKings and Circa. 24/7 live video and full show replays on the VSiN Watch app. Plus, the Kentucky Derby betting guide, which is out. It's phenomenal, and it's great for if you're new and not that familiar with how to bet the ponies. Good job by everyone involved. Every sport, every edge, one low price. VSiN.com/subscribe.
Aaron Judge with a home run.
All rise.
He's batting .417 on the year. That's home run number 10. I think he was around plus 180 to hit a home run today. And O'Neal Cruz, exit velo here to lead off this game for the Pirates against the Cubs, was 115 miles an hour. Not a home run, but he doubled to begin here for the Pirates. And the Cardinals have a 3-0 lead in the doubleheader, Game 2 against the Reds. Looks like a 3-run shot by Contreras.
Well, what, are they going to sweep this now?
That's against that Petty.
The debut. Ovechkin, last goal, plus 850 tonight. Why not? Could be an empty netter. And they have not won a series since they came out here and won the Cup. And they have been one and done 5 times. So they're saying all the right things. Montreal was down 3-1 in 2021 and came back to win. But I think they're up against, that $1.20 to win a regulation. Ooh. You got a backup goalie going, and this is from Jonathan Davis with Jakub Dobes going. He's given up the first goal of the game in 14 of 16 starts, including Game 4 of the series. This is one time he will not bet the losing team to score first. The team that loses the previous game and scores the first goal in their next game, 19-10. Mm-hmm. The team that loses the previous game and scores a first period goal in their next game, 20-9. He likes Washington tonight because of the backup angle and the history there, which those are some good numbers. Tampa, Florida. I'd lean Tampa, but Ekblad suspended. I have no idea.
Right.
Tampa try to keep their season alive, and I like what Mike Palm said. Bet St. Louis in play if they score the first goal. The crowd will be down. They'll be stunned. Here we go with the President's Trophy jinx again. Hellebuck, playoff Hellebuck, terrible. And you'll probably get a good price. Definitely also to win in regulation, even if the Blues score the first goal. So the Jets, $1.75 tonight. That'll be good from in play. And I know what you're rooting for. You're rooting for Winnipeg to win comfortably so you can handle the Blues in Game 6.
That's why I'm not going to touch the game tonight, although I do want to bet the Blues anyway. But I kind of am rooting for a Jets win, and that way they can go back to Game 6, and you can grab plus money on the Blues again. I grabbed, I think, plus 118 in Game 4 over the weekend. But so if the Jets would win convincingly tonight, again, I'm talking like 4-0. Hellebuck is great.
Yes.
Based on previous numbers, I'm guessing the Jets are going to be favored again in Game 6, right? They kind of have to be.
Yep. I'm rooting for him tonight, though. Last 3 years, he's allowed 4+ goals 10 times in 14 starts. He's allowed 11 goals in the last 2 games and was pulled. And he's 9 games under 500 career in the playoffs now.
Yeah, I don't have any.
Tough.
I don't have a series bet here on him or a future on any of these teams. So for that guy, I don't want him to be haunted by this for his entire life.
Well, the President's Trophy thing is no, that too. I know.
Right.
President's Trophy thing's real, and then the Canada drought as well. But same thing with Toronto. You got to win tomorrow. Just get it done. You're the better team.
I think I'm going to like a lot of the action tomorrow.
4 playoff games in the NHL again tomorrow.
Well, Toronto's going to be, I think, one of them.
They're all closeouts.
And here,
all 3 too.
The watch party is going to be at Stadium Swim beginning at 4:30 Pacific time for that game.
How do you get to this number? They're $1.70 on the road. Back-to-back overtime wins, and in the miracle last night where the luck went their way.
So I did not have that in pocket yesterday, but I did say during the segment that I'm going to wait as long as possible to see where the number is going to go on the puck line on the Golden Knights here in town, because you would expect a lot of money to come in. And right before the puck dropped, I bet the Wild minus 125 plus a goal and a half. That was a winner. I also had about a quarter of that bet on them to win the game outright, which was a loser. And they had, once they went up 3-2, I'm celebrating. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to win both these bets. So it's going to cap it off and be an okay, finish to the evening. And then they had to go to the replay. But I have to have the same philosophy for this game, where I'm just going to wait, I think, all day tomorrow and then bet the Wild probably before they drop the puck. That's to win the game. Because the numbers are just wacky, man.
Wild 48 hours. Rockies win a game at home 2-1 against the Braves.
Yeah,
They would have had the worst 30-game start since 1901. How do you get 1 run at Coors off that team?
Yeah, especially off that starting pitcher who was absolutely abysmal leading into the game. All right, that'll do it for us. Stay tuned. VSiN Prime Time is coming up next, followed by Cashing Out, and you can wake up early tomorrow, 7 a.m. Eastern, with VSiN by the books. Good luck tonight.